Are you really yourself, or just the version society finds acceptable? You're not unhappy because you made the wrong choices. You're unhappy because from the very beginning, you were taught to ignore who you truly are, to suppress your feelings, your thoughts, your potential. Carl Jung believed that our deepest suffering comes from living a life that isn't truly ours. And the system, school, work, culture, slowly cuts us off from our real self. This isn't entirely your fault, but it might be your responsibility. In this video, you'll learn how to reconnect with yourself and finally find real happiness. If that speaks to you, don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. From the moment you could walk, you were being shaped, not into who you are, but into who you were expected to be. Sit still. Be quiet. Don't be too emotional. Don't ask too many questions. By the time you reached adulthood, you had already become a filtered version of yourself, edited by teachers, parents, friends, algorithms, even strangers online. Carl Jung called this the persona, the mask we wear to survive in society. It's not fake, exactly, but it's not you either. The real you, that's buried under expectations, fears, guilt, and habits that were never truly yours. And this is where the suffering starts. You feel lost, not because you're broken, but because you're disconnected. Disconnected from your feelings, from your desires, from your values. Jung believed that true happiness begins with individuation, the process of peeling off the layers of who you think you are to discover who you've always been underneath. But that journey isn't easy, because to find yourself, you have to face the parts you've spent your entire life running from. These parts live in what Jung called the shadow, the side of you society told you to hide. Your anger, your jealousy, your selfishness, your shame. We were taught to bury them, to deny them, but denying the shadow doesn't erase it, it gives it power. And here's the harsh truth: the more you suppress, the less free you become. Your shadow starts making decisions for you in secret. It chooses your relationships. It fuels your anxiety. It explodes in moments of rage or shuts you down when you need to act. You think you're in control, but your shadow is driving. You don't have to go looking for your shadow. It's already here, behind every impulsive decision, every overreaction, every feeling you can't explain. Ever hated someone for no clear reason? Felt intense jealousy you couldn't justify? Judged someone harshly, then realized they were doing something you secretly wanted to do? That's not just emotion. That's your shadow talking. It speaks in your fears. It hides in your habits. And when you ignore it, it acts out through projection. One of Jung's most powerful concepts, projection, is when you see in others what you refuse to see in yourself. You hate people who are arrogant, but deep down, you're terrified of your own ambition. You call someone selfish, but deep down, you're furious that you keep putting others first. The shadow distorts your reality, not because it wants to hurt you, but because it wants to be seen. Jung said, everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Let that sink in. Your strongest reactions to the world might be mirrors pointing straight back at you. The irony, most people never realize this. Instead, they push harder, suppress more, blame others, and wonder why they're exhausted and unhappy. And here's the trap. Society rewards the mask. You get praised for being polite, obedient, agreeable, but no one ever claps for the part of you that's angry, hurt, grieving, insecure, so you hide it. You push it deeper, and one day, it explodes. Maybe you lash out at someone you care about. Maybe you sabotage a relationship or quit something that mattered, and you don't know why. This is why Jung believed self-awareness isn't optional. It's survival. Until you face your shadow, it will keep making choices for you, quietly, subtly, constantly. You don't need to destroy the shadow, you need to make peace with it. Carl Jung didn't believe in perfection. He believed in wholeness, in becoming fully, honestly, unapologetically yourself. And that includes the parts you've been taught to hate. The goal is integration, bringing light to the dark and dark to the light. Not to excuse your flaws, but to understand them, to give them space, to choose how they show up, instead of letting them control you from the shadows. Let's be clear, integration doesn't mean you start yelling when you're angry or acting out envy or rage. It means this: you notice the feeling, you name it. You ask, what is this trying to tell me? Maybe your anger is really about feeling unheard. Maybe your jealousy is pointing to a part of you that wants to grow. These emotions are signals, not sins. Jung wrote, "One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious." Most people try to stay positive and ignore the rest. But real transformation begins when you say, yes, that's part of me, and I choose to understand it, not hide from it. Because here's the twist: what you fear in yourself is often your greatest source of power. The person who feels deeply but hides it could become the most compassionate friend or artist. The one who hides their ambition could be a visionary, a leader. The one who fears confrontation could become a master of truth and boundaries. Your shadow is full of potential, but only if you're brave enough to look at it. Integration isn't a one-time moment. It's a practice. It's a conversation with yourself that says, I see you, you're part of me, let's work together. You think you know yourself until someone gets too close. Then suddenly you're triggered, you're confused, you're angry, and you don't know why. That's not a flaw in the relationship. That's the mirror working. Carl Jung said, the meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. And real relationships always cause a reaction. They show you things you couldn't see on your own. Your blind spots, your wounds, your patterns. They activate your shadow. You meet someone and feel a strong dislike. Ask yourself, what do they reflect that I haven't accepted in myself? You fall in love too fast or too hard. Ask, what parts of me am I trying to find in them because I haven't found them in myself? Relationships aren't just emotional, they're psychological battlegrounds. They reveal your level of self-awareness. They expose your insecurities. And thus, if you're willing, so they help you grow. But here's the danger. If you haven't integrated your own shadow, you will project it onto the people you love. You'll blame them for things that are actually yours. You'll resent them for limits you never set. You'll punish them for feelings you're afraid to admit. This is how people destroy connection, not because they're bad, but because they're unaware. Jung believed that until you deal with your own darkness, you will keep reacting to the darkness you think you see in others. But there's good news. The more you face yourself, the more you can truly connect. Real love, real friendship, real understanding. They come only when you drop the mask, when you say, this is who I am. These are the parts I'm still working on, but I'm here and I'm honest. And in that kind of connection, you don't just feel seen, you start to see yourself. There's a reason why you feel something when you watch a sunset, why a certain song brings you to tears, why standing in the forest, even for 5 minutes, makes your mind go quiet. It's not just nice, it's necessary. Carl Jung believed that beauty, art, and nature awaken something ancient inside us, something the modern world has buried under schedules, screens, and constant noise. He said, nature seemed to me full of wonders. Every stone, every plant, every single thing seemed alive and indescribably marvelous. And he meant it. To Jung, nature wasn't decoration, it was a mirror that shows you something society has taught you to forget. You're not a machine. You're not a productivity tool. You're a living, feeling being, deeply connected to the world around you. But here's the problem. Most of us have been trained to rush through life, to ignore beauty unless it's profitable, postable, or productive. That's why your mind feels chaotic. You've stopped listening to what it really needs. And what it needs is stillness, presence, moments of awe. These moments reconnect you with the parts of yourself that words can't reach, the child in you, the artist in you, the quiet observer who doesn't need validation to feel wonder. That's why Jung saw beauty as a gateway to the unconscious. When something moves you, when it hits you in the chest, not the head, it's not random. It's an echo of something deep inside you, an archetype, a shared human memory older than logic. So when you find something beautiful, don't scroll past it, let it sink in, because it's not just pretty, it's speaking to your shadow, to your longing, to your forgotten wisdom. And when you train yourself to slow down and notice beauty, in nature, in music, in someone's eyes, you slowly remember who you are underneath the noise. You don't need to have your dream job. You don't need to be rich, famous, or doing what you love every day, but you do need meaning. Carl Jung believed that happiness isn't about comfort, it's about alignment. Feeling that your time, energy, and skills are going somewhere real, somewhere that reflects who you are. He knew this firsthand. As a young man, Jung dreamed of becoming an archaeologist, digging through lost civilizations, uncovering secrets of the past. But life had other plans. His family couldn't afford the right university, so he studied medicine and ended up in psychiatry. But instead of giving up on what he loved, Jung fused it. He brought his passion for ancient stories, symbols, and meaning into his psychiatric work. And in doing so, he created something entirely new, analytical psychology. Here's the lesson. It's not always about changing your job. Sometimes it's about changing how you see it. Ask yourself, what part of me can I bring into this work? What values of mine live here? What makes this worth showing up for? Even the most ordinary work can feel meaningful when it reflects a piece of you. Whether you're helping others, learning a skill, creating something, or just surviving, there is honor in it, but only if you see it. On the flip side, if your job constantly drains you, disrespects you, and erodes your identity, it's not just a bad job. It's a spiritual wound. Jung would say, your unconscious is telling you something. Listen, you don't have to quit tomorrow, but you do have to reflect. Because the more disconnected you are from your daily work, the more disconnected you are from yourself. And it adds up, day by day, week by week, until one day you wake up and realize you've built a life that looks nothing like you. So ask, how can I bring more of me into what I do? And if that's impossible, how can I begin to move towards something that fits? Not because you need more success, but because you need more truth. What do you believe in? Not in a religious sense, unless that speaks to you, but truly, deep down, what do you hold on to when everything else falls apart? Carl Jung believed that without some form of higher guidance, philosophy, spirituality, purpose, the human mind drifts into despair. He wrote, "In all chaos there is a cosmos, in all disorder a secret order." And that's not just poetry, it's survival. Because life will get chaotic. You will lose things. You'll fail. People will disappoint you. Your plans will collapse. Your identity will shift. And in those moments, you need something bigger than yourself to stand on. An inner compass, a code, a meaning. Call it God. Call it truth. Call it purpose. Without it, every hit life throws at you feels random, cruel, and meaningless. But with it, even pain becomes part of the path. Even the hard chapters have weight and direction. You don't have to find religion, but you do have to find what guides you. Maybe it's the belief that growth comes from struggle. Maybe it's a deep sense that your actions ripple out to others. Maybe it's simply that your life matters, and that being honest, kind, and brave means something. Whatever it is, you need it. Because when your mind has structure, your soul can rest. And when your life has meaning, happiness isn't just an emotion, it becomes a foundation. And here's the twist Jung would want you to hear. That belief, that meaning, it's already inside you. It's in your habits, your reactions, the things you love, the moments you cry. You just haven't looked at it closely. So sit with yourself. Ask, what do I believe about the world? About suffering? About love? about my purpose, and when you find it, name it, let it shape you, let it center you, because in a world full of chaos, people who know what they stand for don't fall apart. You don't have to chase happiness, you have to chase wholeness, face your shadow, feel beauty, build meaning, believe in something bigger than the moment. Carl Jung didn't give us easy answers, he gave us a path. Now the question is, will you walk it? If this resonated with you, don't forget to subscribe for more content like this. Your journey is just beginning.